From the farmers and ranchers of Farm Bureau, this is Farm Weekend. USDA's December farm income report showed only a slight change from September's numbers. Chad Smith has the details.
Revised estimates in the 2024 farm income forecast still show agriculture taking a big financial hit this year. Danny Munch, an economist at the American Farm Bureau Federation, says the slight adjustment still indicates farmers are struggling.
In September, net farm income was expected to decline 4.4% to $140 billion across the farm economy. And in today's update, the revision narrowed it slightly to a 4.1% decline, slightly higher to $140.7 billion for the year. It's not that big of an increase, but still reflects a significant drop from 2022. So even though there's not a lot of change between September and December, it still sort of demonstrates that agriculture is in the red this year, 2024.
Munch says some sectors of the agricultural economy are faring better than others.
There was slight upward adjustments for many of the livestock sectors, particularly cattle and eggs. Those were adjusted upward. Some of your biggest crop sectors still take the biggest hit. Corn and soybeans anticipated down. Production expenses actually were adjusted down as well. So farmers expected to pay less in production expenses. The December report expects production expenses to fall by $8 billion in 2024.
Difficult economic conditions combined with natural disasters make preparing for 2025 more difficult.
Government payments in the report continue to be down 12.3% from last year. A lot of that is linked to lower ad hoc disaster payments. We know a lot of farmers are still dealing with natural disasters from hurricanes and limited congressional action, as well as outdated programs in the Farm Bill. So this report really puts into high gear the importance for Congress to come together and help farmers through those natural disasters.
Chad Smith, Washington.
It's annual meeting time. More on that when we come back.
Frustrated with your current healthcare coverage? Kansans are saving up to 60% a month with Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. Choose from individual and family plans, short-term coverage, or dental and vision plans. It's quality coverage you can afford. Learn more and get a free quote by visiting KFBHealthPlans.com or visiting a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
Kansas Farm Bureau will celebrate its 106th annual meeting this weekend, December 7th through 9th in Manhattan. On Saturday, enjoy a night in Vegas at the KFB Foundation for Ag's annual meeting fundraiser event at the Hilton Garden Inn in Manhattan. On Sunday, informational workshops, trade show vendors, and a silent auction will be open to attendees. Awards for annual award recipients will be recognized during the banquet Sunday evening. On Monday, voting delegates will debate and adopt policy statements for 2025. Elections for KFB president and board members from even-number Farm Bureau districts will also take place. For more information about the annual meeting, visit www.kfb.org/annual meeting. Next, Insight with Kim Baldwin.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, just as you do ride-alongs to inspect your fields and cattle, make sure you do the same for your mental well-being. Take time to check in with yourself and your neighbors. And if you find yourself in a crisis, remember, there's immediate help available at 988. Mental health is just as vital as the health of your farm. Let's prioritize it together. This message brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau and Kansas Farmers Union.
Now, Insight with Kim Baldwin.
My father-in-law called me on a recent Friday night to let me know the first 3 lambs of the season had arrived. The triplets were born in the pasture and would need to be brought up to the barn and kept in the nursery pens to make sure all 3 lambs would be claimed by the mother and that they'd all get plenty of milk in their first few days. When I got the call, my family was in the process of getting ready to make a trip to town to go out to dinner and then catch a movie together. We knew we would need to move quickly to get the lambs taken care of if we wanted to eat and get to the theater in time to see the movie the kids had been eyeing for weeks. The process took maybe 20 minutes in total to complete. As we were walking back to my vehicle, it hit me. Nobody had changed their shoes or clothes before we dealt with the sheep. I keep a barn box in the back of my car. The contents of my barn box contain my lambing uniform, which consists of barn boots, gloves, and coveralls. All of the items in my barn box will remain in my vehicle for the duration of lambing season. But since these 3 little lambs were born a week earlier than expected, the only part of my barn box in my car at the time were my gloves. Needless to say, my entire lambing uniform is now stashed away in my car for the entirety of lambing season.
Join us next weekend for another edition of Farm Weekend from Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture.